Hey guys, welcome back to the Coon Hub. I have thought about this all my life, so now that I have a way of getting my views out there, I will. Being hypocritical is something we have all engaged in at some point throughout our lives, but there are certain groups that are completely oblivious to the fact that they are walking contradictions. This is one such example.
Disturbing fact of life for too many women, getting hassled on the street while they're on a run.
Stick around to see the obvious truth that society holds men and women to completely different standards.
What kinds of things have you heard?
Hey baby, or
it's pretty hard to even run up the street without someone beeping or shouting something.
Here's Lisa Guerrero.
We came to world-famous Venice Beach to turn the tables on the catcallers. How'd we do it? Well, we put a camera on the back of this bike, a camera on the front of this bike, and we hired a fitness trainer.
Amber Wyrick says she's well aware of the problem.
I get catcalls everywhere, every day of my life.
If you are attractive enough, people are going to notice, and some will even take the step to compliment you on it. But don't we know the gender that is more likely to do so? What you need to do is stop acting as if you don't seek validation and learn how to deal with it, because you complain otherwise.
Especially when I run.
We were with Amber when she went for a jog.
Nice choker. That's an interesting jog, full of makeup and a choker.
He yelled it out loud enough that other people could hear it and people were looking. And when that happens, that's embarrassing.
Lisa spoke to the guy.
Does she deserve to be yelled at here on the sidewalk?
What, being yelled at? I don't think anybody was yelled at. Honey, it's funny. If I see somebody running and jogging in makeup, you see what I'm saying?
It didn't stop there.
Did you happen to say something to this young lady when she ran by a minute ago?
I actually did.
What did you say to her?
I said that she's very beautiful and I love her.
Do you think that's appropriate to shout out at women as they're running by?
Yes.
Why?
Because she is very beautiful and I do love her honestly as a person.
As corny as that sounds, the guy is just expressing how he feels. Would you be asking the same questions to a woman that yells "Hey sexy" to an athlete? Or would you be telling her she has the right to express her opinions? Hypocrisy knows no bounds.
So all you guys out there, take this advice. Keep your catcalls to yourself.
There are tons of men all over the world who have been harassed by women, especially at the workplace. The difference is we choose not to be crybabies about it. That would be begging for attention, which is why women do it. They want to indicate to everyone at the office that someone is lusting after them. But have you noticed that they only accept it from a certain type of guy? George from Seinfeld would be the harasser, while the Jason Momoa-looking man will get coffee brought to them and a pass on squeezing her you-know-what. A woman's mind is very selective. Now let's get to the juicy bits of what this video is really about.
You know, there also seems to be a double standard when it comes to lust. Now, I've sort of mentioned this at the table before, and it's being echoed by a British talk show host, Mariella Frustup. She says that she's allowed to fawn over good-looking guys in a way that would have men accused of being sexist if they did it to women.
I wouldn't use the word sexist. She knows exactly what society calls men that does this, but she won't say it. Pay attention to how they try to make it not look so bad when it's them doing it.
I'm with her. I've done that. I have done that, and I think I'm so not self-aware of it. Like, you see a man, and you're like, oh, he looks so great, or his body's so nice.
Like Idris.
Like Idris.
Idris Elba, you've been drooling over him for a while.
I know.
Yeah, but what if he felt like what you were doing was
offensive or uncomfortable? If
well, that's the difference.
If it was him saying it about us, it would be more inappropriate. I guess.
Idris said that about me.
Well,
I'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I would be flattered too. I would like it, but I.
Yeah, but if a guy just made that statement, you'd be mad as hell.
Well, it depends. Well, there's a difference between objectifying and making someone feel uncomfortable.
Pay attention. This is how they try to use slick words to justify their wrongdoing.
And threatened and feeling a hostile environment.
I might have been objectifying.
You were objectifying by saying, wow, look at those abs. It's not the same as I want to grab you.
And the accent.
It's different. Yeah,
it was his accent.
I don't know. Well, let's talk about this, because if someone says, hey, you ever want to get it on with an older woman? Is that, what is that?
Have you said that? No.
No, someone else said it. A man said it. and he's now being dragged over the coals.
What do you mean? What did he said?
He said, have you ever wanted to get it on with an older man?
With an older man. Oh.
Talking about. Do you know what I think it is? Is when I see men in general, and this is a stereotype, I see a potential for aggressiveness. When I see women, I don't assign the same level of physical aggressiveness.
That argument wouldn't last a second in a courtroom on harassment charges, because a man would have to make a move on a woman for it to be a substantial claim. But let's take a pat on the behind from a woman and an unwelcomed hug from a guy and see what's more valid. Things would change very quickly around the world if men should start ousting women on their inappropriate advances.
So when a man says something, it can be awkward because I might feel like there's a fear there.
Right.
When a woman says it, although I do see this as duplicitous, I don't see the same threat.
Right.
And
neither do
But
they.
what if, but some men may.
Yeah. And
Some men may feel that way.
I think we need to start thinking about things that way.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that
there
maybe
there are stories of women in power who are, using that power against some young guy in the room. I'm sure who is
Thanks for highlighting the fact that there are predatory women.
in her,
Demi Moore and Michael Douglas were in a movie about this.
Yeah, I mean, it happens when there's power involved. Mostly the women do not have the power, so it becomes less of an issue.
I do think what you're saying, Whoopi, is extremely valid, though.
Yeah.
To say that
I
if a man says one thing one way and a woman says one thing one way, are you going to be, accused of sexual assault?
Because you know how you feel and who you are, but maybe somebody else felt like that also. And I
stop
wonder.
doing this.
You're not going to stop. I know you're not going to stop. But I think it's
I'm not going to talk about Idris's abs anymore. I'm not going to talk about Idris's accent or Idris's anything.
I do think, though, that but this is like why it's tonally uncomfortable for people, because we're making jokes about it now, and you're using an example.
I'm making a joke after saying I actually see that I looked
do
at it
too. It's a good lesson learned, because we do talk about men all the time and say, oh, he's hot and he's hot. But if it were the reverse, I think we wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
And there you go. It's about time you ladies start having these conversations among yourselves before the complaining starts. Instead of whining about how unfair life is, look at where you are getting a free pass.
I am going to make a conscious effort at
to
trying not to do
Michael Avenatti for saying he was cute.
You did say that.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you did, because he called me yesterday.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Women will never be held to the same level of responsibility as men do because we treat them like children. Remember, your parents would tell you not to put your hands on your sister, even though she started the fight. What do you think was going through your sister's mind when she realized that there are no repercussions for her actions? She's the same little girl that grew into a woman, and with the same beliefs. This is why your wife will play target practice at your head with a frying pan, and still have the nerve to call the police if you raise your voice at her. Bottom line is, we live in a backward society, so try not to put yourself in any reputation-killing situations. Anyway, that'll be it for this one, guys. Please hit the like button so these videos can get recommended. Also, share the videos to other guys you think may find them interesting. I want to thank you for watching, and as always, be well.